it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. I am really excited to do this video for you guys because I will be comparing US and UK book covers, and I will pop them up on the screen so you guys can play along too. But I originally saw this video idea on Haley's channel from Haley and Bookland, so I will try to link the original video below. But I am really excited. I enjoyed seeing her opinions, so let's jump to it. Also, I have pictures of the covers on my laptop, so if you see me looking down here, that is why. But the first book I'm comparing is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. You've heard me talk about it before, I'm sure. It's one of my favorite series of all time, but we will be comparing the first book, which is Caraval, and I am not sure which side I am putting up, the UK versus the US. On my screen, I have the US cover on this side and the UK cover on this side, so I will try to be consistent for you guys. But these covers actually look fairly similar. It has a pretty similar font that says Caraval in the center, and then we have this little spiky, kind of looks like a firework on the UK cover, and on the US cover, it's just like a little star. So those are pretty similar, and then they both say, remember, it's only a game. The difference is the UK version looks like it's just black with some gold and white, and the US version is like red, blue, and white. So I honestly feel like they're pretty similar. I'm not really sure which one stands out to me because there's not like a certain symbol that's unique to the story other than like the little stars. So I'm probably just going to lean toward the US cover because that's a little more nostalgic for me. And also I really like the colorful aspect to it. I feel like it fits more of a colorful vibe and a carnival vibe is what I meant to say. It fits more of a carnival vibe for me, which is basically what Caraval reminds me of. So I do really like that, and I feel like the color red is important to the story, so I do like that they incorporated that color as well. Up next, we have Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, and this one I am torn because these covers are very different from each other. So the US version is this like white cream colored cover that says Love and Gelato, and it has two, I was going to say ice cream cones, but I'm assuming it's gelato with a little heart in the middle, and it's a very simple cover. And then the UK cover still has the gelato, but the cones form a heart, which I think is really cute. And it also says it was a summer of secrets on the cover, which I think is fun because the US version doesn't really have a blurb on it. And then at the bottom of the UK cover, it also has like the scenery for where I'm assuming it takes place in Italy, which I really enjoy. So I kind of think I'm leaning toward the UK cover just because it incorporates the city in Italy. It looks very summery, which is definitely the vibe that the book gives off as well. And then I also really like that the gelato forms a heart. So I think I'm going to go with the UK cover for this one. The next one is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and I am definitely torn between these two because they're both so simple, but I feel like they capture the vibe of Alice in Wonderland and Heartless and everything like that. For those of you that don't know, Heartless is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. And I really like the US cover because it's black with red, which I feel like is, I don't know, it fits like the darker tones to this book. And it also has a sword as the T and a crown on top of the sword. So I really like that. And also has like vines and thorns and everything, which also the UK cover has. But the UK cover has a heart instead of the A in Heartless. It also has a blurb which says, before she was the Queen of Hearts, she was just a girl who wanted to fall in love. And I like that it includes that blurb because I don't think that's on the US cover. And I also really like that the UK cover has the actual Queen of Hearts and her face is a heart, which is fun. And so I'm like very torn because I loved Heartless so much, and I'm obsessed with the US version, especially because I have the hardcover and I know what's under the dust jacket is beautiful, and I don't know what's under the dust jacket for the UK cover, so it's kind of hard to compare it in that way. But like, there's so much nostalgia with the US cover, so I'm leaning toward that. But honestly, I feel like this one's kind of a tie. This next one is probably the easiest round yet, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. For the US cover, it is just a yellow background with our two main characters sitting on their separate beach towels, and they both have books or journals in front of them. And I feel like you kind of get a feel for the plot based on the cover, which I really, really like. And I feel like the color choices are great because this book definitely feels like a beach read, something that people would read while they're at the beach. And so I really, really like that on the US cover. And then the UK cover, I actually have never seen before until I was making this video. And I am not sure how I feel about it. I really don't think I like it. I appreciate the fact that it has those clouds in the background that are all different colors, but I feel like there's just too many color options on the cover, and also you only have like a guy swimming and you have just like the girl's legs and feet next to a journal, and I just don't think I like that as much. I kind of like the idea of being able to see both of our main characters fully in the US cover, so I am definitely leaning toward the US. For this next round, we have Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron, and these covers are both stunning. I would be happy to own either of these versions. With the UK version, it is blue. Her dress is blue. She has butterfly like clips in her hair, and she looks stunning. And I really love the color choices because when you think of Cinderella, you think of blue, and I really appreciate that aspect. And then with the US cover, the main color I feel like you see is purple, which I think is really cool, and she is also stunning there. I really love that both of them have pictures of the main character, but it's not like an actual photograph of a person, if that makes sense, because I don't like when the characters' images are too realistic. I definitely prefer them to be like drawings or like fan art style, if that makes sense. I'm not good at coming up with like artistic words, but hopefully you guys understand what I mean. I really like the way they're both depicted, and I really love in the US cover how they have a whole bunch of like vines and trees and thorns and things, because I feel like that kind of depicts what happens in the story and the setting that we mostly see throughout the story. So I'm kind of leaning toward the US cover only for that aspect, because the UK cover just has like mist and clouds in the background. So I really like the setting and just the way the US cover kind of paints the picture of what to expect while you're reading. So I'm going to go with the US cover. Our next round is Kiss My Cupcake by Helena Hunting, and I actually listened to the audiobook for this one, so I wasn't really familiar with either cover until making this video. And with the US cover, it is a blue background. We have this pyramid of cupcakes in the middle on this little table, and we have both of our main characters on the cover. And if I'm being honest, I think the cover is cute. I like the colors that were chosen. I feel like it fits like the romance vibe, but I don't really like the way the characters look. I definitely pictured them to look way better in my head, so I don't think I really like the way the characters are depicted. I don't think the art style is really for me. But I do like that the A in cupcake is made with a cupcake. I think that is super cute, so they do get bonus points for that. But then we have the UK cover, which has a purple background, and it has the pretty much the exact same cupcake pyramid, but that's like the only image on it. And I really prefer the font that they chose for Kiss My Cupcake on this cover instead of the US cover. So I'm honestly going to hand this one to the UK. I think the purple background is gorgeous. I feel like that is really romantic and fits the vibe of the story better than the blue that was chosen for the US cover. And I like that the UK kept it really simple and definitely did not have those characters on it, because I don't like the way that they looked. Next up, we have Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and these covers are fairly simple and kind of similar. So With the US cover, it has a blue background with the gold helmet. I can't think of what it's called right now, but I feel like if you saw the picture, you would know exactly what it is, which I appreciate. It's very clearly one of like the helmet things that people would wear and like that you would imagine people would wear in mythology. So I really like that. I feel like the font is really interesting and it's definitely like a really fun color, and I feel like you know kind of the vibe to expect just based on this one simple image. And then with the UK cover, it has a red background instead of blue, but it also looks like some kind of armor. I don't know if it's like a breastplate or a shield maybe, or if it's supposed to also be the helmet. But because I can't tell fully what it is, I feel like I like the US cover better because you can clearly see it's a helmet. So I don't know if that's a me problem that I can't tell what the image is on the UK cover, but because I'm struggling to figure that out, I think I do like the US version better. This next one is really hard for me again because it is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I feel like the version of Clap When You Land that I own is one of the most stunning books that I've ever owned, and I obviously have the US version because I'm from the US, but I just love this cover so much because we have our two main characters, but you only really see half their faces because they're divided by two planes coming toward each other, and I like the way it kind of divides things, but then you also realize that the plane is important to the story, obviously. But also you have this distinct color scheme of like pinks and greens that you see on both sides of the planes. So I like that you can tell that their stories are connected, but they're separated by distance, obviously. And then also on the one side, we have our one character who's from New York. So you see the fire escape thing for an apartment building. And on the other hand, you see a character who is from, oh crap, I just read this book, I can't remember. Was it the Dominican Republic? I'm not sure. Hopefully I remember. I will try to put it up on the screen. But you see these like palm trees, like the foliage and stuff you would see from that country, you see in her section. So I just love everything about that cover. I cannot say one negative thing about it. And then with the UK cover, I also really like this cover because we still have our two main characters. It's a different art style than the US cover, but I honestly like both of them, even though the UK cover looks way more realistic. It's still not a photograph, so I still do really enjoy it. And they are being divided in half, so there's yellow on one side, pink on the other, which I enjoy. And then also in the font Clap When You Land, I kind of like that font better on the UK cover, and within the first A, it still has the little airplane. So you kind of get an essence for the story from both of these covers, which I really like. But because of the stuff in the background of the US cover, like the fire escapes and the foliage, I kind of have to give it to the US, but this was pretty close to being a tie. For this last round, we have 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim, and this book just came out earlier this month, and I had the privilege of reading an arc before it came out, and I really enjoyed this book. So if you haven't figured out what it's about or haven't had a chance to go pick it up, I highly recommend you check it out. I really, really enjoyed it, even though it was super hyped up and I was really nervous to read it. I think it lives up to the hype. So this is your sign to go check it out. But these covers are so different from each other. And what I like about the UK cover is it's not a sunset, but like the gradient of colors in the background. I think that's really cool. And I also appreciate that there are 6 Crimson Cranes on the cover. So it definitely fits the title, obviously. And it feels a lot like the Asian culture that you get to experience in the world. So I really appreciate that element. And I think that this fits the vibe a lot better than the US cover. With the US cover, you get our main character front and center, and you still do get the cranes kind of swooping around her, which I really like. And I feel like they're so different, so I don't really know how I'm supposed to choose. But if you're looking for a cover that fits the cultural element, I would say the UK cover is great. But for me, if I'm picking based on which cover would draw me in and make me pick up the book, it would probably be the US cover. Just because I really like that our main character is front and center. I like the color choices better. I feel like when I look for fantasies, I look for like the more striking colors, like the vibrant colors. So I would probably choose that over the softer color palette for the UK edition. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me compare the US and the UK book covers. I had a lot of fun doing this video, and I would love to do something like this again in the future. Please comment below which covers you prefer, and if there's any UK editions of books that are really beautiful and you prefer over the US covers, please let me know. I would love to find some stunning UK editions. But if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you did subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.